Artwork is a great way to create and express my creativity in a quiet way so that I can process musical ideas without being on an instrument. And there's a lot of connection to the sound of music and visual art. You know, lines, colors, rhythm, patterns, things like that I discovered. It's completely self-taught. And during the time of my mother's illness, it seems is when I really began to explore painting. So I think it was a way to, emotionally, and it was like a therapy, or develop a way of coming away from the music and being reflective. Are playing the string. They're the string quartet. So they're here on this occasion. I've never met them before.
Oh, I see.
My friend David Roystein, who's playing the piano, you'll see him. He introduced me to jazz when we were in high school.
Oh, this is the one you're saying.
He's the guy tonight that you hear playing the piano and doing the string arrangements. Well, when he started to play piano for me, his chords sounded so much richer than mine. So I started to ask questions. How'd you do that? He said, oh, this is jazz. I said, really? So when he saw me perk up, he got even more excited. He played me a bunch of jazz records, and that's really how I first came to hear the music. Was famous artists at the time, or even now, Bill Evans and Herbie Hancock, and Cannonball Adderley. He had all their records, so he would play them for me. And that's how I came to really get the bug. He's now the head of the jazz department at Cal Arts.
Wow.
And he offered me as the gift to do the strings.
Oh, wonderful,
He just
wonderful.
offered
So you
it
got
to me.
strings jumping on you?
Yeah.
Here backstage, Carmen Lundy concert, getting ready for the show.
Robert is cute, isn't he? He's funny, he's cute, he's the most refreshing sound on the piano that I've heard in many years. He's not afraid to take risks, and I love it when I'm surrounded by musicians who keep me kind of on my toes, and particularly when they're young and still very hungry and anxious and not afraid to try new things. And that's Robert Glasper.
Yeah.
They can just keep moving back and forth. Yes, it'll work. Curtis is a natural born leader. Really is. He has wonderful insight and he really has a knack for recognizing talent. He's got one of the biggest, most beautiful bass sounds, and that's the foundation of any band, really. I mean, if you got a great bass, you've got a band.
There you go. Sure, man. Yeah.
Where peace and love and hope.
Bobby, we met in college, University of Miami. And Bobby was certainly one of the first musicians that I heard writing and playing their own music. That was really inspiring. And because he was in my band and we were working together, I started singing some of his tunes. And this really led me to start thinking about doing my own stuff. And at that time, it never even occurred to me that I would be a writer. I was so into this, being this jazz singer. And Bobby really kind of turned me onto the possibility of what it would be like to write your own music. I wanted Bobby to certainly play, but I wanted him to write all the horn arrangements, because he's done that before. Since the very earliest of my recordings, he's been the horn arranger exclusively. And I wanted him to do that for me. And as you can hear, he did a brilliant job. Myra and I have been friends since around 1976. Great. She taught me a lot about Latin music, okay? She taught me what the clave is. She taught me all the names, all the patterns. I learned a lot about how to listen to Latin music, introduced me to Celia Cruz and all the great Latin musicians who contributed to jazz. That relationship with Myra, I think you can hear a lot of, when you listen to my music, you hear a lot of Latin influence. From tune to tune, you can tell there's a lot of that going on, and that's Myra Gonzalez. Nathan East is an anchor, kind of spiritual anchor in music, and very positive and also very encouraging. And he's the kind of person that you want to impress, because you sort of feel like he's heard it all and played with so many great people, and it's kind of quite a compliment that he would want to join us in this concert. Really appreciate having him on the bandstand.
Hardest one.
Yeah, head is working. The hardest working
Girl,
15-year-old.
Yeah.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Carmen Lundy.
Peter O'Brien and I met in my New York days. We became friends. He was also the trustee to the Mary Lou Williams Foundation. And Peter and I met as a result of him producing a lot of concerts. He later became my manager. He helped me to get my first record, Good Morning Kiss, out there. A bona fide jazz impresario.
Aside from the deepest aspects of human love and maybe the gift of life itself and the gift of children, I can't think of anything more sacred than the music we will experience tonight.
I used to write music sort of like as an exercise, just to really develop the craft of songwriting. And sometimes you get stuck, and I find that when you bounce ideas off of other people is when you can start to crystallize an idea. It's beautiful, the movement. It's your moment. Yeah. Old friend. That's lovely. Good friend. You think that'll work, David? Sure. My friend. Important, this concert, because I realized that I've been writing now for over 30 years, and so many of my recordings are, the majority of the tunes are original songs, and sometimes they're collaborations, but they're original music. It's really been important as a jazz vocalist to say this, to go beyond just being an interpreter of standards and pop music from our grandparents' generation. It's really important for me to make more of an offering as a vocalist. My one desire is to have a life that's filled with joy and laughter, where peace and love and hope will live for long after. I dream about a world without me, and I dream of a little girl who can move any mountain and pray. But of all things, I hope your dreams the Jazz in the New Songbook will inspire young people to think differently about what they have to say in their music. I mean, it's good to have a foundation and a vocabulary of those songs that we call standards, but it's also to encourage the young artists to go ahead and say what they have to say. Jazz music is an evolution of sounds and songs, and we're part of that evolution. And I think that to make a contribution in our generation has a lot to do with saying what we have to say and putting that out there and letting the public decide, and not so much letting corporate recording companies and the whole music industry, as they promote what we do, decide what the direction of the music. The people on stage that make the music determine the destiny of the music, and that's what I believe the ultimate offering of this new songbook is all about.
In living color. Everyone exits. So whoever's on stage exits. There's going to be applause. There will be an encore.
If it were not for Elizabeth, I would probably still be recording the original stuff, but I don't think I would have gotten the courage and I couldn't have gotten it together to put all of these musicians together on the bandstand and really say in one night what's been happening for so many years. And really it's because of Aphrasia Productions that we did this. Okay, it's 5 o'clock. We're done. We just gotta run to make sure everybody's clear with a long journey home. Long journey home is maybe it's slightly philosophical. It's perhaps what I find everybody, if they're lucky enough, if they live long enough, they get to really reflect on their life, and also you come to a point where you're wondering what's ahead. And to have a positive outlook on what's ahead rather than to fear the unknown, but to really embrace whatever the future is about. Okay, let's go on.